Do you think video games have gone too woke? Are you tired of the male characters you project yourself onto being replaced by DID having polyamorous black people?
As you guys know, every day I'm coming on stream and all I do is I say bigoted, racist things. That's why I'm known as
the king of hate.
Then you'll be happy to know that you're not alone. One lone man is on your side, not him. A brave man, also not him. A well-respected,
The title is a decade of failure.
intelligent,
I was the valedictorian of my elementary school.
everyman type.
By the way, they use generic toothpaste.
Probably from Walmart.
I said, Boogie, I want you to understand something. I don't shop at Walmart. I never have. In my entire life, I've shopped at Walmart once.
With expertise in content creation,
Sorry, OBS crashed and I was trying to update the leaderboard, which really sucks. My OBS crash is just closed. But it says, whoops, OBS has crashed. It did it this morning too.
gaming,
What's going on?
and politics,
No, I don't vote because my vote doesn't matter.
named darksydephil, is here to save the gaming industry once and for all and defeat that evil Neil Cuckman.
People will say, hey, you got to buy our games or else you're a bigot. So everyone's going to be almost forcefully forced to buy them. And Abby was a masculine woman. That was the other thing, too. Oh, Ellie's kind of butch, and that's acceptable in today's society, too. If you don't like that, oh, you're a bigot.
I understand the frustration people have with the way the gaming industry seems to be going. However, darksydephil is not a real hater. His hatred for these things is not genuine. He's too stupid to understand why people might have a problem with the way the gaming industry is going, even though he's dedicated the past 30 years of his life to gaming. He just knows it's the cool way to think now, and the Quartering tweeted about DEI in video games and got a few thousand likes, so maybe if DSP said the same thing, he could get attention too. I remember in 2020 when it was cool to be a fake little activist, DSP's political opinions were completely different. He would randomly bring up Black Lives Matter, he had a slide on his intro about Pride Month, he would tell people to mask up in late 2023, he was going crazy.
Accessibility options, obviously this is great for people who need them. I don't, but I'm glad that they're all in there. Any chance you could say Black Lives Matter? Sure, Black Lives Matter, they absolutely do. I'm for the movement. The Black Lives Matters movement is insanely, important. And by the way, I stand behind Black Lives Matter. I stand behind progressive thinking in the United States. The reason that we're saying Black Lives Matter is because it is the African Americans who are being mistreated in this country on a regular fucking basis.
Meanwhile, back at the ranch,
The only reason you suddenly saw this sharp shift to this liberal leftist agenda is money. I'm starting to see a pattern this year.
Even nowadays, when the mood strikes him, he'll go on tangents about how everyone else is so racist and homophobic and transphobic. Not him though. And those heckin' Japanese developers, they hate women. But then he turns around and does shit like this.
Mariah Scary says, I just moved to another state. Any advice? Well, Mariah, what ethnicity are you? That's the question. Why do I need to know that? You're white as fuck? All right, so here's what you do. I have to preface this saying this is a joke, all right? You're in a brand new place. You don't know about how it is out there, right? So what you do is you walk outside, you walk to the middle of the street, and you just turn to the sky and you yell out at the top of your lungs, if it ain't white, it ain't right. And you see what happens.
He stands for nothing. He's just throwing vague political statements and half-assed edgy jokes at the wall and seeing what will make the LARPers in his chat call him based. If DSP really had a problem with the industry going too far left, if he really felt like products were suffering because all the knee-high sock-wearing coders were too focused on out-virtue signaling each other, you'd think he'd be happy with games that avoid politics and are more reminiscent of what we saw in the early 2000s. But he's not.
What the hell is this? This is funny. I'm sorry. I gotta call it out. I'm sorry. I have to call out Japanese culture right now. And some people will have issue with this.
Joe, he came back from the digital world as a half digital, half human being and was nearly run down by a woman who was almost naked driving a car. What? Why was there a blonde woman who was almost naked?
What was the point of that? That's Japanese culture, man. If there's a woman, she's got to have barely anything on. You know, that's how we do. That's how we roll. Notice every single male character in the game is well dressed, and then the women have like nothing on at all.
All the characters in this game, male or female, are dressed strangely. It's almost like they were designed to be memorable and distinct from one another. Are the female characters in this game kind of coomery? Maybe. Yes, I will concede, yes they are, but I've followed DSP for years and I don't understand why he has a problem with this. Are we supposed to think that he thinks that this outfit is dehumanizing, that it's distracting from this character's personality? DSP isn't a leftist or a lay epic and brave male feminist. He's very against those things, nor is he some holier-than-thou Puritan. Why is it a problem when Japanese game developers make their female pixel people attractive, but it's okay for DSP to make sex jokes over and over again? I'm confused. And if I'm confused, then what do people like Jade and Slayer think of all this? Actually, don't answer that. To give him the benefit of the doubt, maybe this was a fluke. Maybe he normally doesn't act this way about women in video games.
Narration. Even the mouse is female.
Here we go. They're fucking nonsense. Look at the heavy emphasis on it, too. Oh, no! What do they do? They're washing clothes. So they're probably serving girls or something. Well, what a nice game that within the intro, scantily clad women, right? Chemical Goods says full coverage and dark clothing is scantily clad. If you don't want to play, turn it off. Did you not see the girl on the right, you fucking idiot?
Did you see the one on the right, guys? That's absolutely disgusting. I think I'm gonna throw up. This right here is why the West has fallen. This is why society has gone to complete shit. Not the 40-year-old man begging for donations while crying about losing in Mario Kart, but the attractive pixel woman. What makes this extra funny is you know he would be acting so weird, judgmental as hell, side-eyeing the camera and calling her a DEI hire if she was ugly. Even when female characters are as average as humanly possible, or even fucking mice with female voice actors.
Even the mouse is female.
Why has
Listen
Diana taken the
to the
camera?
narration. Even the mouse is
Her house
female.
broken, so I can't even ask her.
Wow.
I will make
My
the tree
God.
stop a cozy home again,
Yeah.
no matter what it takes, and no matter how hard it gets.
That's
I
great.
will fight.
He has a problem with it, and this got me thinking, like DSP when he visits the bad side of town, I was noticing, what if our favorite cozy gaming, comfort streaming, Minecraft playing used to be racist but is now reformed, happily married cat dad is actually an incel?
You understand? Like I actually get laid by my wife. I don't need to have horny nerd fake romance in this game.
If you've been following DSP for any amount of time, you know that he loves to play the victim. In fact, I would say he wouldn't have a career anymore if he wasn't a professional victim.
Can't do viewer's choice because the trolls ruin it. So we can't do more frequent viewer's choice. We can't do different viewer's choice. It doesn't work. My trolls, my detractors, my stalkers, mentally challenged, ill people, criminals, whatever you want to call them.
You're not here to see me actually have fun with the game, get better and win. You think I'm going to lose a lot and you want to see me lose. You want to see me suffer. You're a scumbag, right? You're a sociopath.
Coming off of yesterday's marathon, which, as I admitted in last night's Daily Wrap, was completely derailed by my detractors, had some very unsuccessful segments, upset a lot of people, including me and others, and obviously there was no way that I was ever going to recover from that because the damage was done and everyone hates me. Now, allow me to tell you about today, which was an incredibly successful day of positivity and fun. We hit the goal! You see this troll here? You see this troll there? They're both belted. Massive support, great times had. Detractors,
Felted.
We hit the goal. We filled the coffers. We paid the taxes. We felted the goddamn trolls and spanked their rear bottoms. And, and they bent over. Oh, it hurts. Oh, DSP is successful today. Oh, my butt hurts. We said, oh, yeah, we'll take this.
You want to felt the trolls, right? You want to felt those dirty detractors, don't you? You know what would really get them to shut up? $300 in my bank account. If we're to believe that he cannot do basic things like film inside of his own kitchen, he never specifies why he can't do this, but he can't do this, guys. Something really bad would happen. If his life is so scary and everyone's out to get him and always digging into his personal life, then why is he telling us things like this?
My wife should work at a restaurant. I think if my wife was a cook, she'd actually be happy, but she doesn't realize it. I mean that too. Like, she struggles in jobs that she doesn't like, but if she actually went out somewhere and cooked somewhere, I think she'd actually be happy, but she just doesn't get it. Like, I keep telling her, I like your food. Your food is amazing. Your food is... She doesn't listen to me. She's like, oh, no, it's okay. And then she goes off, she shuffles off and works at a crappy retail job, and I tell her, no. Maybe this will be a wake-up call. I don't know.
If you claim to care about your wife's privacy while also saying that thousands of people are constantly watching you and preying on your downfall, wouldn't you put 2 and 2 together and know that this is not a good idea to share with the public? Kat's not a part of the content anymore. People have been banned for asking about her, so there's really no reason for us to know that Kat hates her dead-end job. That's not our business. Except Darksy wants to brag. Kat's privacy, yeah, that's like cool or whatever, that benefits us sometimes. But you know what's even cooler? Bragging about how epic our wife is in the kitchen. We like privacy sometimes, but felting the trolls is so much more important. I need that sick, twisted, psychotic motherfucker PPP to know that my wife can make me a burger.
I think if I put pickles on there, it would have been perfect, and that's my fault because I put the condiments on. She cooked the burger.
Okay, maybe she can't like complete the process start to finish. Maybe she can't like put all the toppings on the burger. That's very difficult. It's a lot of things to open. But autism be damned, that woman can cook a piece of meat all the way through. Can you say the same about your Discord kitten, Triple P? Remember how much of Kat's personal information DSP was willing to share with this strange fat man who has made a career off of making fun of people with much shorter Kiwi Farms threads than DSP's? PPP, the guy DSP claimed to know nothing about while also saying he knew was going to snake him this whole time, that guy? Surely he can be trusted with our wife's medical information. DSP has since claimed that everything he told PPP and Andy Worski in DMs was a lie. His wife's medical history, the fact that his mother is dying, his pet rabbit dying, all of these things, that was actually 40 chess. That was a silly little fib that he had to tell to felt the trolls. It's actually really freaking based to tell people that your mother is dying, all to avoid having to get in a Discord call with them. Now, me personally, I'm in the these weren't actually lies camp. I think he's lying about lying. Maybe some of it's true, in which case he's telling the truth about lying, which is better if you tilt your head and squint. But let's say that DSP is telling the truth. DSP was lying to PPP and Andy Worski about Kat's health. If so, was Kat on board with this? Were they downstairs on the couch giggling about his master plan? Did he go up to her at the dinner table and go, hey honey, you know what would really get under the troll skin? You know what would really make PPP angry? PPP, Triple P, I call him Triple P. Telling him you have cancer.
Sure. What the fuck?
No matter how you spin it, DSP was once again bringing his wife into internet drama. The woman he claims cries because of all the negativity surrounding him. The lady who has deleted her presence off the internet and refuses to be on her stream again, let's just bring her up again. Fuck it, let's tell Andy Worski and PPP about her medical history and how she's constantly gaining weight and how she can't have children anymore. I'm sure she'll really love that. Kat is not the first woman DSP has done this to. Before he was with Kat, he was with Panda Lee, and then they broke up. But he lied about them still being together, I guess to protect his ego, but then when him and Kat were together, he lied about being single. He just loves to lie.
I had to lie about things because I had to protect my family.
One day after DSP and Panda Lee had broken up, DSP gets on camera, and guys, he's really stressed. You can tell because he sighed at the beginning of his sentence. And he proceeds to tell us that Panda Lee had to go to the hospital because she had a panic attack, and it was really stressful for DSP, and they should have just given her a pill and left her somewhere. Again, this was a while after DSP and Panda Lee had broken up, but he was still lying about being with her. She was no longer part of the content. She didn't want to be in DSP's life. The only reason DSP knew about this was because he was still on Panda Lee's emergency contact at her work. Yet he still felt so emboldened to tell us this personal information about a woman who is no longer in his life. I think it's telling that out of the 2 girlfriends we've seen DSP have, the first one was barely legal. She moved across the country away from all her family and friends to be with him. And then the second one, Kat, also moved away from all her family and friends to be with him. Her sister claims that she grew up in a home for special needs children because she's autistic, and she was in an abusive relationship before she got with DSP. I bring these things up not to be a cunt, but to illustrate that the pig roach has a very specific type of woman that he goes after. The type that's a little bit held back, if you know what I mean. He only picks ones that will do all of his cooking, all of his cleaning, all of his laundry, all while having no real ambitions for themselves, so that he can continue his lifestyle of playing video games all day, drinking all night, and wasting all of his money on mobile games and DoorDash. Think about it. DSP might look like a melting wax figure to you, but if you had just come out of a relationship where the man beat you, maybe he wouldn't be so bad. Maybe the snorts would become cute and endearing. And now that she's in his little lair, what is she gonna do? Leave? She has no money of her own. She has no friends or family in the area. Also, respectfully, he made her fat. Kat is fat because of Phil. I said it, and I mean it.
Guys! This is history!
In only a few years of living with the DSP, Kat went from thin and working out and going to the gym to morbidly obese to the point where her fertility is affected. Remember on the stream when she was first introduced to us and people in chat were asking her about her hobbies and the things that she likes? She said that she likes K-pop and Overwatch and going to the gym, but now, on the stream that she was on last, people would ask her about the same stuff, and her response to everything was, yeah, I used to like that, but I don't like that anymore. What happened? I know what happened. DSP happened. He sucks the life out of everything good that crosses his path.
3, 4, 25. There we go. All right. Whew. I did 25 real push-ups on my floor. I actually did do them, but there's no way you can see it because I can't aim the camera to look over there. But I actually just did do 25 push-ups.
It was one of the stupid memes about me from years ago is that someone challenged me to do push-ups and I jumped off camera and claimed that I did them. Obviously I didn't. Obviously I was fucking around, right?
Now, DSP usually only leaves his house once a week. It's a scheduled event. He loiters around Costco for a bit, and then he taps the glass on all the fish tanks at Petco, and then he goes to eat because of course they need to fucking eat. They're always eating. So DSP rarely interacts with anyone face to face, and he rarely does collaborations with anyone because all of those have ended poorly. Every time DSP has collaborated with someone, from Rambo to Brian to the Kino Casino, it has always ended with the person breaking off their relationship because DSP is so insufferable and selfish. So we don't really see him or hear about him interacting with women at all besides Kat, and also his mother, who he will only bring up to talk about how she is gonna die soon. Guys, my mom is gonna die. Can we get some support? But recently a new woman crossed DSP's path. Another streamer named Strangely Lex. Lex and DSP's worlds collided when it was revealed that one of DSP's top donators was giving tons of money to her instead. And in true DSP fashion, he had a problem with this. He felt like that money belonged to him. He's the one playing Truck Simulator all day. That's very hard work. It hurts his hands. He then proceeded to call this woman he knows nothing about a slut, and when he found out that she's gay, he said this.
She said she's not gay, she's bi. Yeah, that's because she wants money from simps, from dumb simps. Of course. Of course.
This is him telling on himself, by the way. I firmly believe this is the begging strategy he would take if he were a cute girl and not a 43-year-old man. He would be as open and vague as possible. Maybe he's gay, maybe he's not. Maybe he's single, maybe he's not. He's a blank slate to be filled only by the pay pig's imagination. Him calling this random woman a slut, or him complaining about the hot tub meta back when that was a thing, is crazy. Because if she's a slut, what does that make DSP? darksydephil has shown us his legs, feet, and underwear for money. He's taken shots for money, telling people that the more drunk he gets, the more weird and wacky and crazy he gets. And guys, don't you want to see the old man in your phone get a little buzzed?
Aren't you a former alcoholic? It's a parody. What the fuck?
He's blindfolded himself for money, changed his clothes for money, blown bubbles for money. He's eaten and moaned into the mic while doing so for money. The list goes on and on. We could be here forever. There was this one time somebody told him to open an OnlyFans, and instead of going on his normal rant about how society has gone to shit, and back in my day, we didn't have OnlyFans. We jerked it to $200 Poison Ivy statues. Or instead of just saying, no, I'm not gonna open an OnlyFans, his response was, I don't believe you're gonna give me the money to do that. So despite his hatred for hot tub streamers and people like Strangely Lex, it appears that if the price was right, DSP would become an internet prostitute. In a lot of ways, he already is one. He wouldn't have to change his behavior. He wouldn't even have to buy new stuff. I'm sure Darziak would help him. I can't finish that sentence. Years ago, DSP posted what is now known as his incel manifesto. All Let's Players have one of those, right? I only read it for the first time recently, and I couldn't help but notice every single thing that he complains about these stupid bitches doing, he does too. Extremely selfish and self-centered.
Of course, now you gotta get someone in the stream chat who wants to turn their own personal story into, derailing the chat, and I'm not gonna put up with it.
Too busy feeling sorry for himself to do anything else.
I just was thinking in the back of my head, now I know at this point, everyone hates me, right? Like, I'm the guy you love to hate on the internet. I'm the guy everyone dumps on.
Too annoying and or geeky to stand for more than 30 minutes.
No Ghostbusters characters, I don't think. Let's double check, let's keep going.
Too stupid to listen to advice he asked for.
I'm open to other suggestions. I would love to hear other suggestions of rewards. Please give me some, and I'll consider them. But the ones that I'm hearing just aren't good.
A total slut.
That's right, look at that. Nintendo colored socks.
A total tease.
I might play that eventually. We're gonna see. We're gonna see how stuff is going. Maybe I'll play that later this month.
A total liar.
It is WWE Champions time.
Too full of himself.
Your king has returned to prominence, the king of streaming on the internet.
And just plain fucking crazy.
It wasn't a mistake that I put that on fucking Twitter. No, sir, it wasn't. That was my depression.
Thanks for watching, and hopefully my next video will be out in less than 6 months.
Guy's a bitch. The guy watching his Twitch.